My parents chose my violent BIL over me and let him live with them, so I ripped the family apart. I have been with my boyfriend Leo for 3 years. My sister Sophie has been dating Jake for about 3 months. Due to financial stress, Sophie and I were both moving back in with our parents. Leo was coming with me, but Jake wasn't supposed to move in, just help Sophie pack and move her things. The night before the move, Leo had just finished a late shift, around 1 to 2 a.m., and was packing. I had reminded Sophie multiple times to leave out the packing tape since Leo would need it and didn't want to disturb anyone. She forgot. Leo knocked on Sophie's door at about 1 in the morning to ask for the tape. No answer. He knocked again, a bit louder. Suddenly, Jake stormed out, screaming and threatening to fucking snap Leo's neck. Leo didn't respond with aggression. He just stood there trying to de-escalate and protect me if things got worse while Jake continued spitting out threats to my partner. I was terrified and told Jake I would call the cops if he didn't back off. Later, Sophie blew up at me, texting that she'd rather be homeless than live in a house with Leo and accusing me of defending the wrong person. I was stunned. Jake got drunk and violent, and Leo stayed calm. For context, Sophie and Jake had been getting completely out of it most nights, mixing psychedelics and alcohol to the point of being practically non-functional. It wasn't just a party night here and there. This is their norm. So when Jake flew off the handle that night, it didn't feel like a one-off to me. Leo even apologized over text for packing so late and said he didn't want bad blood. No response from them. The next morning, Jake and Sophie were openly laughing and talking in detail about how if Sophie hadn't held Jake back, Leo would be dead. They treated it like a joke. During the move, Leo politely asked Jake to apologize for scaring me. Jake refused, claiming he did nothing wrong. He eventually gave a sarcastic sorry and left before I could respond. When I talked to my parents, they dismissed it, saying drunk threats don't mean anything and that I was overreacting. But my parents would often invite unstable people into our house, sometimes high or worse, and being the youngest and smallest, was almost always the one that was ignored, beat up, or even molested because my parents didn't listen to signs of what they wanted to do to me. Staying silent about red flags feels wrong. I was told Jake would still be around constantly, even if not officially living there, since he's my sister's boyfriend. I had a panic attack and excused myself to leave so I could calm down and complete the move. Sophie did move in, and now my parents are fine with Jake being there all the time, sleeping over there every night, even when Sophie isn't home. He's not living there, but stays as long as he wants. So Leo and I have now moved in with his family instead. Update. Firstly, I decided to reach out to some long-distance family members, my aunt and my brother. My aunt has talked to my mother over the phone every day for 21 years, 3 times a day. I called my aunt and she was strongly supporting me. She said that after I left that day, my mom had called her first. Despite this, and listening to Sophie's side of the story, my aunt was furious, asking, "What the fuck is wrong with you?" Even going so far as finding holes in their version of the story, lying about Leo bursting into the bedroom while they were naked and sleeping, screaming for the tape. They had claimed earlier in the conversation that they had heard my phone calls and Leo quietly knocking, and hoped we would realize they wanted to be left alone. In retaliation for my aunts disagreeing with her and upsetting Sophie, my mother threatened to destroy the business they had co-run successfully for decades, telling my aunt she would fire the entire staff, that my aunt needs to tell me I owe my mother and Jake an apology. My aunt responded by saying she has never threatened my mom like that, and would not be contacting her until my mom decides to apologize to me. As for my brother, I sent him a text message briefly explaining what happened. He immediately decided to call our mother and tell them that it was unhinged and unacceptable. Sophie gave him presumably the same flourished details as my aunt, and he cross-examined us with some questions, before concluding that he couldn't know what had happened, but if what I had said was true, that leaving was the right decision. And when Leo went back for our things, I stayed in the car with the windows cracked in case anything escalated. My father walked out and said, "Hey, I'm sorry about how this worked out, and nobody was gonna fight, but we're not gonna kiss OP's ass." He went inside after that. I heard my mother start shouting at Leo, but not about him. She said she was sorry at first before professing that she tried so hard to make the move work, that there wasn't going to be a fight. She ranted about how I ripped apart the family and ruined her relationship with her sister. She said I was a backstabber, and warned Leo that I burn everyone and that I would betray him too one day, that I'll die alone because of this, and that he's the only person I haven't hurt in that way. I saw Leo bursting a blood vessel in his brain trying to hold back from responding. I requested him to, and he just kept repeating that she should talk to me about these things. She rushed up to Leo as he was leaving to demand that I ask my aunt to keep talking to her and fix things between them. Leo is an author and incredible with words, and is still almost at a loss. They keep hoping they're doing enough for me, but I'm attempting to reassure them that a place to live is far enough. And yes, I am seeking therapy.